been motorcycle shopping for the last couple months. I know I wanted another bike for 2024. I wanted a Kawasaki product, but unfortunately, every dealership I ended up reaching out to by email, text, Facebook, ended up adding about $3,000 in BS fees. I'm not talking about the destination, the prep, the dock. I'm not talking about those fees. They were all adding a market value fee to a motorcycle. I was like, hell no, I'm not paying a markup on a two-wheel motorcycle that is mass produced. It's not 2020 anymore. Inventory's out there. You just gotta keep looking around. So unfortunately, I scratched the whole Kawasaki thing again. Back in October, I had visited Legend Motor for parts, oil and stuff like that for some of the bikes. And they happened to have the 8S in stock. I sat on it, I got to play with it a little bit. Got me thinking a little bit about a new bike. But I was still hung up on the fact that I wanted a Kawasaki. And then they announced that they were coming out with the 8R, which is the full fairing version of the 8S. At the beginning of February, I reached out to Legend Moto and said, hey, do you have this full fairing motorcycle? They happen to have a silver one in stock. So I went to take a look at it. I put both bikes together side by side, and obviously the 8S one because it's here in my driveway. Let's go take a look at it. I have it out here in the sun, and I want to show you some of the features on the screen, but we're not going to be able to see it. It's too sunny. The camera's not going to pick it up, so I'm going to pull the bike back into the garage, and hopefully I can give you guys a little show. All right, now that I have it in the garage, I'm going to turn on the display, see if we can go through some of the features, and I'll show you what this thing has. When you first start it up, you'll see the 600-mile service. That's a factory setting, so there's no way to delete it. It kind of makes you have to go to the dealership at 600 miles to get that clear. They make sure that at the braking period, you're back at service, getting that stuff cleared. I looked in the whole manual and I couldn't figure out a way to clear it. The screen here is set to auto, so it's white now, and at night it goes dark. You can keep it in daytime or nighttime all the time. I have it in auto, so it'll lighten up and darken up when that time of day comes. I put my first 81 miles riding it home. I had 0 miles. You have the time. You have your traction control settings here, and you have your riding modes there. The QS is for the quick shifters, letting you know that it's on. In the settings mode, you can turn it off or keep it on all the time. If you don't want to use the quick shifter, just set it to off and just forget that it's there. But it's cool that it has the option to have it on or off if you're gonna play with it. You have your gear displays here. The display is pretty self-explanatory, and I think it looks good. Still have the little plastic on it. Let's take this off, maybe we can see a little bit better. There you go, I took the little plastic off. With your mode here, you're gonna control the settings on here. So if I press mode, the traction control over here, you can kind of navigate through it, and then you're gonna hit up and down to kind of choose which one you want to change it to, 2, 1, or you can leave it on off. I've left it on 3 because it's the most restricted, and I'm still trying to break the bike in. And then you'll move over to the riding mode. C is pretty much like your least aggressive throttle response. It's kind of like your rain mode. And then you could kind of choose B. A is all balls to the wall. So if you want to go crazy with it, you will leave it on A. I've left that on C just because I'm still breaking the bike in. There's no point to play around with the throttle. To get into like riding mode, you'll hold this up here like that, and then it gives you the ride info there. You can go into all the settings, ride, RPMs. You could actually set your RPMs. I think I'll play with that once I break the bike in. Then you have your quick shift setting there if you want it on or off. And that's pretty much it. Let's exit out of there. Info, you can check all your info, warning, next service, and then settings. You'll go down there. The brightness, day and night, the unit, date and time. Default setting if I wanted to go back to that, and then your systems info. That's something you want to know. That's pretty much all your settings there. This off real quick. You also have your turn signals, your horn, and right here in the front you have your pass, which is that little flasher thing. I think that's so cool. Not all bikes have it, but for some reason I like that silly feature. The only other bike that has it is my CF Moto, and I kind of got used to having that. I know I gave some of the CF Moto fanboys a hard time talking, you know, crazy that this was garbage. Look, for the money, it's not a bad bike. I'm getting the clutch lever fixed. They're supposed to be sending me a new OEM one. That might have been a defective one, so once that comes in, I'll change that. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I might get rid of it, but I got like 3,500 miles on it. It's still fun to play with. Here we have the quick shifter, something that I had never used before. Got on the bike, started playing with it, caught onto it really fast. I'll do a video on how to use the quick shifter for the people that have never used a quick shifter, but that's actually a really cool feature. I actually enjoyed riding back home with it. There's some tools underneath here. This thing also has hazards, so you'll see them flashing up here. And then you have the Suzuki quick start. I think I'm gonna do an exhaust on it, but later on down the road, the thing I wanna do is maybe do this tail delete thing. I took the plate off because I started looking at it and trying to play with it a little bit, see what I gotta take off or leave on. I like to leave the factory turn signals. I would have loved to try to save the tail light, but doesn't seem like that's gonna work. Got some aftermarket pieces, you know, in the works there that I just haven't decided which one I want to go with, or maybe I'll wait a little bit longer and see what else other people come out with before I start playing with that. I know that they have this footrest delete thing. Might do that, not sure. Wife keeps saying that, you know, at some point she's gonna jump on the back of one of these. I don't think so. We'll have something else coming in soon, so I gotta straighten out here a little bit. I also put these like tank guards on this one. They were by Tech Spec. I found them online. I'm not crazy about them. I might switch these up. I also did some on the SV. I gotta do an update on that one. I haven't rolled with them yet, so I'm not even sure if they're good. I didn't want the ones that Suzuki came out with because they were like gray and black, and I don't think they match. I like this whole like matte type feeling of the bike. I want to keep the blue shiny and all the black flats. I know they sell something for here, so we might do that, maybe a windshield. I actually like this platform so much that I'm even considering just buying the 8R in a different color just to have both here. I want something sporty. That's kind of like been in the back of my brain to get like a sports bike. I thought of maybe going a little bit bigger, maybe like an H2. It seems like everybody's doing the H2R, the big Ducatis, and I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't know. We'll see.